Friends, today we will see what are the three levels of reality which the Advaitins speak of. So, what is reality? Reality is something which we see, which we feel with your senses, and which you understand with your mind. So, that is what normally we mean by reality. And if we see our own day-to-day life, everyday life, we have different levels of reality in our own normal life. For example, you are walking on a hot day, in a hot sun rather, in the hot sun, in a slightly deserted place or in a desert itself. And at a distance, when you are thirsty, you find there is something called some water lake. And then you go near and you find that it is only a mirage. What appeared as a water lake, and you really felt, when you saw that, you really felt that it was a water body there. And then say you got excited and then you went near and you saw only a mirage. Or maybe under some dim light condition, some evening you are going somewhere and then you are walking on some country path and then you come across some small rope. And then you suddenly feel it is a snake. And then you get alarmed. And then you react in a way as though you have seen a real snake, and then your reaction is totally corresponding to your vision of a snake. So then again, after throwing some proper light on that, you feel that, oh, this is only a snake, it is only a rope. Then all that, the earlier say excitement vanishes. Alarm, how you got alarmed, all that vanishes. And a more familiar thing is a dream. Every day we go to bed, and then for a few hours at least we will be dreaming something. You will be dreaming, sometimes it is a good thing, sometimes it may be a bad thing. Sometimes you may feel that you are the boss or you are the CEO of your organization. Or sometimes there may be some unpleasant experience where your boss pulls you up. Or something, some dream boy or dream girl situation, whatever it is, you have some pleasant or unpleasant experience. And then during that time, what is happening? The mind has created a world of its own, and then you are feeling, but the mind is feeling, you are feeling, and the body also is undergoing the same tension. The body is undergoing all the physical reactions which would normally take place even during the waking state. Even in the waking state, the way you feel elated, you feel enjoy, you feel overjoyed, all those feelings you have in the dream also. So, but all these three are, once you know the reality. In the case of a mirage, you go near and then you find it is something unreal. And then a rope snake you find unreal. And similarly you find that dream is unreal. And then from dream you go into some deep sleep, and we do not know what happens in the deep sleep. And then when you come to the waking state, you realize that all that dream itself, it is all unreal. So a human being during every day, he is undergoing these three levels. He is in these three levels. One is some dream state where he sees something unreal, and when he wakes up, he feels that it is unreal. And then sushupti, the deep sleep, we do not know what happens. And during day, you see this your whole world. You come to the same office every day. You meet the same friend every day. You see the same buildings every day. You see the same world every day. So we feel that this is all real. But Upanishads, they start questioning about this reality, what we call reality. Upanishads start questioning. They say, when you say that you are the observer and all this thing is the observed. So Upanishads start with the distinction, who is the observer and what is the observed. What is the druk? Druk is the observer, and what is the drishyam? That is observed. Who is the seer and what is the seen? So you say you are the observer or the seer. And who are you? So that is what this Upanishads start questioning. So then it makes an analysis. You are basically a body-mind complex. You are having a body, and then you are having certain senses. You are having a mind. I am having a mind, and then this mind is receiving so many impressions from outside, and then it is processing all these impressions, and then it is giving a picture, and it is also creating some concepts in the mind, and then I feel that I am knowing all these things. Then if you carefully see, I can also see my body. I can see that the body is not me. There is something behind. The body, simple body is not me. Then simply sense, one particular sense is gone. Okay, still that I is there. That I feeling is there. One more sense is gone. Still that I feeling is there. So that I feeling is there. That mind is having that particular feeling. And mind, in fact, it is say classified into manas, buddhi, chittam, ahankaram. I will not go into that now. Say this mind is still there, that I feeling is still there. Then what is behind that I? What is it that is motivating that I, and what is that enabling that I, that is enabling that me to see or to perceive this world? And that is where the philosophy, this Vedanta, advances so many arguments, and ultimately convinces that you are nothing but some flash of that consciousness, with that all-pervading consciousness, which is just reflected in this antahkarana, or called mind. What you call mind, it is just a flash of that supreme consciousness which is all-pervading. And that all-pervading, we call it Brahma. Brahma does not mean a particular, say, a person or entity. Brahma, in fact, it is referred to in the neuter gender. It is not mentioned in masculine gender or feminine gender. It is just Brahma, Brahmanat Brahma. The etymological meaning is Brahmanat Brahma. Brahmanam means expanding, all-pervading, that which is pervading everywhere. That is what is called Brahma. That's consciousness, the Chit and Sat, the existence and consciousness. These are the things which are just reflected in this antahkarana. So this is what the Upanishad says. Ultimately it says, what you see is something, it is only a manifestation. What you see, you can see the body. So it is not as though the mind is in the body, but the body is in the mind. That is what the Upanishad says. The whole world is in your mind. That is the theory of Mandukya Upanishad. So ultimately, with so many elaborate logical process, the Upanishad takes you to your conclusion. So a jnani, or a person whom we say a realized soul. So he, after going through all this, process of the Shravana, Manana and whatnot, all this process of going through these Upanishadic sentences, so he realizes and he gets a sort of first-hand knowledge. What is called aparoksha anubhuti is called a sort of first-hand knowledge, or first-hand awareness, first-hand realization, not knowledge but first-hand realization that all this is the reality of all what all we see is questioned. It comes into question. So these are the three levels which we see. The first thing which we see, that is the rope snake or something like a dream or the mirage, it is just a phenomena. It is just a phenomena. It is deemed real when you feel it. So that is called pratibhasika satyam. That is called pratibhasa samaniyatatma. It is only relevant, or it is only there when you are just experiencing it. It is only there at the time of experiencing, and after that it is gone. It is called pratibhasika satyam. In English, nowadays people are calling it phenomenal reality. Phenomenal reality. Then the second reality which we talked about, the world. We are talking about the world, and we see every day, we see this world. We have a lot of transaction, all day-to-day transaction in this world. This day-to-day transaction, the Sanskrit word is vyavahara. So that is why this thing is called vyavaharika satyam. The world which we see is called vyavaharika satyam. In English we call it transactional reality. And then after going through this Upanishads and all, when you try to know your own self, what exactly, what am I? So that is the basic question in philosophy. When you are in that predicament, or when you are in that process of contemplation, when you are in that process of inquiry, let us say, then you realize that something you are not this body, you are not this mind, you are something different. Whatever identity you assumed on yourself, it is gone. And then whatever identity you assumed on this world, that again comes into question. And then Vedanta does not say this, the whole world is unreal. Vedanta only says it cannot be said. It cannot be said whether it is true or whether it is untrue. Sat asadbhyam anirvachaniyam. Whatever is that Maya, this whole world which is a derivative of that, it is nothing, it is something which is indefinable. So that is what it says, you cannot say, conclusively say whether it is Sat or whether it is Asat. But then there is one ultimate reality or absolute reality, that is that pure consciousness. So that level is called absolute reality. The third level is absolute reality, that is nothing but that Brahma Chaitanya, that is that pure consciousness and existence, that is the ultimate reality. So these three levels of reality we see in philosophy. Thank you.